different articles.
I actually wanted to ask the question to Mark.
All right, so now you're in the audience because you don't know how to shut the fuck up. When I say shut up, I mean that shit. Oh my God, every time I want to find specific information, I can't fucking find it fast. That's annoying as shit. Okay. After return from China, reportedly high school geography, 27 games, 3 seasons prior. That's a coordinator, linebacker coach. Kenna West started 204. Press reported later defeated championship. All right, so this is some kind of report. I guess I can find the score here. Damn, man, why can't I find the score? West State Football Championship, 1999. McKenna West lost 4 of its first 6 games in the 1994 football season. West won the first state championship in program history on November 26, 1998, posting a 35-28. So they won by 7 points over Cambridge and Santee at the Metro.
And what do you notice about the numbers 35-28? There's a multiples of 7.
I know.
No 3s in there.
I literally said they won by 7. Like, what are we doing? The fantastic high school football game was back. What do you think that means? you think that's a gotcha? Games tend to be in multiples of 7 because that's how many points you score once you get your PAT. So, I don't know, bro. Let's see, 2 yards.
Listen, I can save you the trouble because I'm somewhat involved. I'm running for Congress. There's going to be a bunch of stuff coming out. And you'll read about it, and the Republicans will, say it's true, and the Democrats will deny it. But you'll see. There's a bunch of some stuff. But it's kind of funny. It's sort of humorous, but I'm on the side of the Republicans, which think that all of this is politics and spin. It's not real. And so why are we talking about like it's real?
Well, the only thing that your hard-headed ass won't admit, which is a fact regardless, is it's impressive if you're the defensive coordinator of a championship team and the way that you win is by stopping them.
I'm saying that like this whole thing is sort of manufactured to try to make him look like something he's not, and they caught him in a lie. And you're defending that the one thing that could be true is the defense once or twice stopped the team, and they played well.
What was the lie?
In 8A.
What was the lie?
And politicians.
No, that he was the head coach.
Yeah, but he never said he was the head coach. So how did he tell a lie?
Because he did say he was the head coach.
No, Martin never said that. I watched his fucking.
Wait. So who says he was the head coach?
No one.
That's made up, huh?
No one.
So where does that come from? You thought he was the head coach
because they attributed the wins to him, and they typically do that if you are the head coach. They said he was the coach, and then they said that he
go back on Google and look it up.
And that makes it seem as if, that implies that he's the head coach, but they didn't actually say he was the head coach. So it's hard to say that they lied. I think that there was something deceptive about it, to be fair to you, but he didn't actually say he was the head coach.
So I don't have my computer, but if you could Google around, I think you'll find there's a bunch. This is in the past too, not because he ran for governor and other things where he misrepresented himself, and it's he's caught, and so like you say, he's been caught. They might seem small, but it's not what you want for your leaders to be lying about themselves.
He did not lie. Other people.
So Mark, as a fellow coach, you can't give.
Oh, the Army stuff as well. It's not just the football. He said that he went.
At best,
his rank was different, right?
At best, the claims are misleading, but then he didn't explicitly say I was a head football coach, and nor did anybody who was.
Okay. Did he say that his rank was whatever it was? Do you believe that? Do you think that's a lie too?
If somebody who doesn't like to be interrupted, you sure have no problem interrupting other people. It's starting to piss me off. Like, wait a second, bro. I'm almost done. I'm not that long-winded right now. Like, at best, you could say it was misleading because people were talking about him as if he were the head coach when he wasn't. But I don't see a single example of the media or him saying or claiming he was the head coach. So that would be the lie, right? You could say that there was some kind of vested political interest in making it seem as though he was the head honcho because of whatever that could contribute to him as a person. But I think it's good enough that he was a defensive coordinator because that's a significant coaching role, even though it's an assistant coaching role. And especially if the way that he won was that goal line stand, which I'm trying to find where the fuck did I read that? Because I just read it, but I can't find it at all. It's annoying. Working on linebackers, lead the team to a state championship after starting season with the scholarship off 8 consecutive wins, including back-to-back shutouts. Okay, so that's the other thing. So back-to-back shutouts by Walt's defense to start the postseason. So back-to-back shutouts. That was part of it. Montana West ended the 1999 season by defeating Cambridge and Sandy High School 35-28 in the title contest. Montana iced the win with a defensive stand near the goal line. So, I mean, maybe that was in the red. I mean, near the goal line. I interpreted that as a goal line stand, but maybe it's vague enough where it could be on the 15 or some shit. I don't know. Securing the first state championship in program history. If it's near the goal line, it's within a few yards, in my opinion, but that's a vague description. But yeah, if you have a goal line stand, you have back-to-back shutouts, that's impressive.
Can we just agree that
by the way, Mark, as the saying in football goes, defense wins championships.
No,
hey,
I was just myself. I'm not against that.
Okay.
But can we just agree? Let's try to agree on one thing. Lying is not good. So if somebody's lying, and we're just learning about the guy, and he's lying about the IDF of his life.
Are you saying politicians lie?
No,
but
there's
if
a
he's
bigger piece of
using
this. Mark, are
lies
you
to
gonna,
study
as a Republican, talk about lying? The guy that leads our ticket lies all the fucking time. I listened to a press conference that made me laugh, and it made me laugh because he claimed he was ahead a huge amount. You want to know how many points he was ahead by? 2. 2 is not huge. 2 is close.
It's huge.
So if you're talking about them lying and that people should take that seriously, why don't we look at our own fucking house? Our guy lies like it's going out of fucking...
Never
lied. What do you call that argument when we're talking about
Mark, our guy lies all the fucking time. He doesn't have a problem.
Objectively, Trump lies all the time. That's
he is a liar.
He's a pathological liar.
Mark, have you ever lied?
The answer is, well, it's okay if he lies.
Yeah, that's not the point, Mark. The point is, if you're going to pick up on the other side and say that their second candidate should be looked at askance because he, quote, lied, while the guy that leads our ticket lies
Marco, we know,
lies
I think
to us,
you
lies
and I
to
and
the
everybody
media,
else
has
knows who
lied
Donald
to
Trump
other
is.
parts of government, and you want Democrats, independents, me as a Republican to take that shit seriously? Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding because
no, Mark,
you
it is a horseshit comparison.
It
is a horseshit comparison to take an outright liar and say the other side lies, oh my God, look at them, they're so terrible.
Is he not a liar? What do you think? Do you think Trump lies?
No, what I think is Donald Trump has been around for years. He was president even. This isn't an unknown quantity. We're talking about somebody who just introduced himself to the world
that is
a few days ago.
Thing the market said, an unknown quantity.
Mark, you're making okay Trump lies,
talk
but
like
Tim
10
Walz
times
lies
more than I do,
are bad.
and you won't let me finish a sentence. I'm not going to sit here and debate if I...
Can we quote you on that, Mark? An unknown quantity?
Where did he go?
Look, I'm a Republican, and I'll be voting Republican. But I'll tell you what, I can't stand that shit. It eats at me.
Did he leave in a huff? Oh,
I don't know if he left or he quit, but either way, that shit
I didn't kick him out.
pisses me off. When I hear people from my party going, hey, the Democrats lied. Okay, we decided that wasn't super important, so why the fuck are you bringing it up?
All right.
Well, Mark left because you know why the truth hurts, right? Because reality bites.
All right, I'm going to close this room and open up the chill room.
Sounds good, Jason. Talk to you later.
I was supposed to close this room hours ago. All right, guys. I'll let you guys later. Peace.
shit happens, and we're becoming less and less and less separated from each other, and just because we live in the freaking States, people interact, they have lives, they have relationships, and it's just silly.
And by the way, Weed, you've never seen my Jew-fro. That was Norm. That's not me.
Well, Steve, can I get in for a sec on this?
Well, no, I got to get in here. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Calvin.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Hi, Calvin.
Hey, how's it going? You guys seem like so much fun. Y'all hang out a lot?
Well, I don't do the pop-up room too often, but every Sunday for the past 3.5 years, yes.
Okay. And what do you do for a living? Are you like on radio or something like that, Steve?
Yes, I am on the radio, but it doesn't pay the bills. Yes, I podcast, but it doesn't pay the bills. I've been in workers' compensation, employment, and labor law for 30 years. That pays the bills.
Oh, I got you. Well, I'll tell you what, your voice should be synthesized. I mean, it is.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Oh, absolutely. Isn't life so much fun when you do have a diversity of people in your orbit? I mean, I love being, having all kinds of friends, all shapes, sizes.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, sometimes we'll say, man, I do not want to be, and I know this is going to sound pretty bad. I'm a black guy. I do not.
I think it's going to sound pretty good. Please continue.
Well, we'll see. I don't want to live in a neighborhood where the only people I see look just like me. I don't want to be in a neighborhood where the only people I see, look just like Caucasians. I prefer to be in a mixed community. It's so much more fun. I love what Cora was saying earlier, by the way. She says her children's community seem to be those of ethnic groups. I hate when people try to paint me, and with a broad brush. Oh, black guy. The
racism,
minority.
prejudice, and bigotry. Exactly.
Absolutely, because here's the thing, we're, all black people are not the same. We don't have the same experience.
That's right.
The same thing Cora was saying. To say that that I'm of a black race and put us all in the same box, to me is the biggest of insults, right? I mean, I may not like the same music this guy likes. My religion may be different than this guy. I might enjoy, salsa and Latino food. I mean, so many things that shape me and make me what I am, and the things that I enjoy. But you want to just put me in one box because I have 3 extra layers of melanin than the person next to me, and to me that is very insulting. And the last thing I want to say, you were talking about how there's racism on both sides, and you're absolutely right. I remember the first time that I figured out that I had some prejudices in me. I was a kid, and we were standing on the side of a road, leaning up against a white fence, and here comes this car with the rag top down. And as they get closer, it's a white couple in there, and I flipped the bird. And they look at me, and they're smiling, and they're waving, and they realize that was not a wave I was giving them. And I just saw the change on their face. And I remember how, it wounded me, because here's this carefree couple that looking toward me, thinking that we're having a moment, and I'm flipping them the bird, right? And I want to say that did change me in the black community, if you want to say that. I think I just argued against it, but the words and attitudes that are used against white people in general, I think you can absolutely classify it, as racist. I'm not saying everyone, but I would almost say the majority. And I always say that I think the difference with black people and white people is that, black people are reminded to be offended. So we think we have a right, to this claim of, of offense.
That's right.
You did this, you caused this. And I think if we would stop advertising it, right?
Yep.
Before Obama came into office, right? I hardly heard anyone talk about racism, to be honest with you. People just trying to live and make it in the economy. But next thing you know, all the different all different news outlets, all the politicians, all of the entertainers, they were all saying the same thing. They were parroting the same thing. Racism, white man kills black men. White Hispanic kills black men, and they just kept drilling it and drilling and drilling. I think it just made something. I don't want to say out of nothing, because like you said, racism does exist, but you just kept drilling it that it became this mountain. You made a mountain out of a molehill, and people's reality just kind of shifted because that's all you ever heard. I'm a little long.
Thank you for that. Before we go to Ike, I want to comment on what you said. I think, and again I stress, I think that a lot of people that speak the loudest about racism want racism to continue. They don't want it to end.
Right.
Why, Uncle Steve? Judge for yourself. But one short story, and then we'll go to Ike. The first time I learned about racism, I was in second grade, 8 years old. I was in second grade, class of 24. We had to do an exercise where we got paired up. The guys got paired up with the girls, 12 guys, 12 girls. We're 8 years old. And we had to pretend that we were married and introducing our wife and introducing our husband. And we had one black girl there were 23 white guys and gals and one black girl in the class. I got paired up with the black girl. And so when it came my turn, I said, hi, my name is Steve Appel, and this is my wife, Mrs. I forgot her first name, Appel. She did the same thing. When we were at recess, my friends came to me and they said, Steve, you really can't be married to that girl. And I said, why not? And they said, because she's black. And I went home and discussed it with my parents. That was the first time I had ever learned about racism, because I wasn't raised that way. My father loved Dr. Martin Luther King. My father loved Muhammad Ali. We believed that you are judged by the content of your character and not by the color of your skin. And that was the first time in my life, 8 years old, where I ever experienced racism. And again, I didn't experience it. Personally, a whole bunch of other stories. But let's go to Ike. Hi, Ike. You wanted to speak.
I think that's a good way to start this. Kind of like just in a class, as you're being raised and you learn about American history, right, or the history of civics, right? And if you have one person in the classroom or a couple that are black and everyone else isn't.
Morning. Super morning.
Hey, then you with him and you with the dude.
Hey, no man. You saying all black Americans are from indigenous from here, and they're not from Africa?
Not all. Majority of black Americans, right, who've been here for a long time, right? The majority of our ancestors have always been here. Always been here.
So,
they didn't,
guess
what? They lied to us. They lied to us.
They lied to us. Oh, the lies about lies.
Doesn't work. That is why the founding fathers were so frightened of it, is because of this very reason. This is why the Democratic Party has moved so far to the left. They've abandoned any logical reasoning. It's because of democracy. It's because we let these fucking people come into the country and vote that don't even live here. It's fucking ridiculous. It's a clown show. It's unbelievable. I just can't believe that we're in this situation. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and let's also remember that the quality of a civilization is predicated not upon the number of things you can vote, but upon the number of things you can't vote. And the Democrats want to reduce us to a pure democracy, because that means 51% of the people could absolutely tyrannize over 49% of the people. But we are a country founded upon the principles of the Enlightenment, this sacrosanct idea that no one has a right to one moment of your time or your effort on earth. In other words, your few cubic feet of flesh and the ideas, the warmth and the love and the action that come from it belong to you.
All we have to do is look in the mirror, because society is to blame. We are responsible for the self-inflicted hell that we are living in.
Adrian, Angel, chime in. Adrian and Angel, chime in.
Yeah, good evening. Well, you don't love the Jews either, do you, Maze? You're an anti-Semitic Jew hater that platforms anti-Semite Jew haters all day long, as if it's a career for you. It's pathetic. Get a life, loser. Go back to Goldman Sachs, you fucking Jew hater. You don't love the Jews either, do you, Maze? You're an anti-Semitic Jew hater that platforms anti-Semite Jew haters all day long.
Bro, is this what you do? You pick.
Is this what you do, bitch, all day long?
And try to holler at me there, okay?
Yeah, remote on it. What's up, Angel?
Hey, you guys, thanks for holding this space. It's so great to see the unity. You know, I was kind of sad throughout this whole time, RFK Jr. running, and with everything that I saw they did to him, obviously, he's a great person. I've been a long-term MAGA Trump supporter, as you know. But I always loved him. Honestly, I always loved RFK Jr. I loved his grandpa, who he was, and I didn't live at that time, but knowing the
Save America. Got to do a Diablo live stream today. Comments will be a live stream. When you play Diablo, is there a Kamala Deep State Trojan Horse Shield Maiden? Oh, Jew hater. Fucking stupid bitch. All day long, you fucking Jew hate all day long, bitch. You fucking Jew hater.
Shit around his neck. What kind of? It's a fat guy. Yeah, the fat guy with really dark skin.
What about him? What did you find so surprising?
No, I thought it was nice when he started writing, but people were making fun of him, I guess, because he had the, I don't know what you call it, cafe or some shit, whatever you call their scarf. The Palestinians.
Bitch.
Palestinians.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, Sonny, I had a question for you. Sonny, what what's wrong with the Palestinians?
I didn't say it, but what they were tweeting is that here we go again. We're praying to the demon Wahyu Guru again. And this time it's this guy wearing a what do you call it, Muslim scarf. So this is the same guys who complain about Harvey.
Sonny, do you believe in God, Sonny? Or do you?
I'm an atheist.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh no, Cardano. It must be miserable. Well, it makes sense that you delivered my package today. I mean, congratulations on your 3,000th package delivery.
I definitely didn't deliver any packages today. I definitely have not been.
How many packages do you think you've delivered in your life?
Because I'm not poor like you, and I don't have to. If I
Poor like me? I don't have to deliver packages to stay alive. That's a you thing. That's a you problem, Alchemist.
I don't have to do that, actually. That's you thinking that that's the case. It's not the case.
Oh, you finally broke free. You're no longer a pensioner.
I do go to theater, right? I do think it's funny. I do think it's funny that people, like, even if I was a drug, even if I was, who cares about Adrian's little insult? That's true. Fair enough. After all, you know what's funny? I don't know if you would agree or not. I think the modern day Indian music scene is created through Punjabi weddings. Because since my grandpa's time, every single Punjabi wedding has had the most biggest stars they can afford to perform at their weddings. And this is actually how a lot of people, like singers, used to make their money back in the day. They would, perform at weddings, right? And it was mainly Punjabis.
All day long talking about Jews. Hey.
JR needs to come up here and speak, otherwise you should be
Wait, sorry. I thought anyone can come up without raising their hand. What the fuck is this?
The only one is JR that needs to have it. There you go. Welcome, JR. You want to lay down there and listen, man? We're not going to be listening to your backgrounds. Did you wake up with a headache today?
JR, where's JR? Oh, there's JR. Hey, JR.
Singers perform at South Indian weddings. There was this guy who performed at my parents' wedding, Kumar something. I've mentioned him before.
Yeah, we've had Carnatic musicians at most weddings. We've had some big ones. MS Shubha, actually, when she was alive. And a couple other famous singers. It's a good part of Chennai. You get great music.
Yeah, Punjabi culture is huge, right? I just remember the name Kumar Sanu. He performed at my parents' wedding. He was like some kind of Bollywood singer. And my dad is always talking about to me dude, it's actually gonna be annoying. My parents talk too much about marriage with me, honestly. It is starting to piss me off.
Just ask for the pictures and...
Well, that's a you problem. Why are you getting angry over marriage conversations? Those are very important conversations.
You don't know how the Indian family functions, Adrian.
That's not true. Talk to JR. Talk JR. I'm a Hindu guru.
I'm 26, Adrian, and my parents will constantly nag me to get married by 28.
Well, I mean, you do you.
It's a long way away. It's a long way away. You can sandbag it for 2 more years.
Your parents are trying to program you, but it's a good programming. You're rejecting the programming, and that's a you problem. Let it go. Be free.
I would take the applications, tell them that you won't meet anybody unless they're a 10. They'll be like, what's a 10? You'll be like, you'll find out and just start rejecting applications for their looks. Yeah, that's what I said 8.5 and up, otherwise I don't even look at it. No, they're all 8.5. You'll learn to love them. Wait, let's see the Polaroids. Oh, it was a mess. I said, Mom, arranged marriage ain't gonna work for me.
Look at my mom will have, honestly. But such an attitude. Dude, wait. My mom will have.
You don't have any excuse. I was divorced.
But wait. My mom will have such an attitude. When I will tell her, she'll like phone me and start talking about marriage. I'll tell her I don't plan on getting married. She'll have such an attitude, dude. She'll right away just go to the deepest points. And she'll viciously attack me, dude. Like vicious.
She's probably getting the pressure too.
You do realize that marriage is just a concept, that when you're married, you know what changes? Nothing. It's just like what it was like before you got married.
Adrian, I like to spend my days smoking weed and drinking alcohol.
Well, mazel tov, you figured out a great way, but, do you get your dick licked?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm talking.
Women don't want.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Optimus is correct. In last year, November, I had this horrible breakup. I think I told F12 about it. Where, my ex essentially literally tried to throw my liquor bottles at me. Like my Grey Goose bottles. And she smashed the shit in me, two of them. Girls do not like guys who abuse drugs and alcohol.
I hate to tell you this, but who cares what the fuck a girl likes? Who gives a fuck what a girl likes? Who gives a fuck what she likes?
Those are negotiations. That's the
who cares what she? What do you mean? Who cares what she likes?
You gotta tell her to go fuck off.
Yeah, you tell that bitch to go fuck off.
Yeah.
Maybe not a bad strategy.
Okay.
When a stupid bitch starts throwing bottles at you, that means she's trying to kill you. I was at a restaurant once in Beverly Hills with this Polish bitch that I flew in.
Hey, dude, you shouldn't abuse drugs and alcohol because women don't like it. You shouldn't abuse drugs and alcohol because it's terrible for your life.
Exactly.
That's correct. But women want to have an exact rule, not even one grade. Not even one.
Dude, the amount of times I've been bitched at, because some chick will be like, there will be this happened to me last year. There was this alleyway of balloons in downtown LA. It was you could take pictures there, right? It looked kind of cool.
What is it, Alvarado? Alvarado Street?
No, it wasn't Alvarado. It was it was near Staples Center.
Yeah, that's close to Alvarado Street.
No, but it wasn't Alvarado. Alvarado's near those shopping centers.
Yeah.
And so it was just an alleyway of balloons, and people would walk through the balloons and take pictures. So anyways, me and my girlfriend at the time were supposed to go there. We're supposed to take pictures, and I got it drunk in the morning, right? I got it drunk at 8 a.m. Dude, the amount of shit I got for saying I don't want to take pictures. Just extraordinary, dude. It culminated in a 5-day fight. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Dude, the girl wants to date a man, dude. She's probably trying to help you. And you're just that's pretty much it. The girl's probably trying to help you and put you on a better path because maybe she cares about you and sees some direction. She's trying to help you.
That's what a guy would do. That's what a guy would do. They're giving advice about decide ultimately is just Jesus or
No, dude. If a girl's even with you and you're like, yeah, like she's just trying to lead you into a better direction because you're a loser. I mean, I'm not saying you're a loser. Some people like
you should have done it by like group therapy. You would have gotten some help. That makes it
dude, like
typically they're not a gentle kind. They set their rules based on how they see it. Even without the drink.
so why they set the rules? You know why they don't set the why they set the rules? That's all. They set the rules because the guy's not setting the rules because he doesn't have shit together. So the woman's trying to provide direction, get him on the right path so that he can eventually become a leader and someone that's worth respecting. But if you don't, if you're not worth respect because you're being an idiot, then why wouldn't the woman get pissed off? You don't have your shit together, dude. And like probably the only reason why she's with him is because she cares about him and wants to help him, like and like put him on a better path. Like I don't know, like I don't either. I'm just saying that's what they're trying to do. That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to nudge him in a better direction.
Let's see, come on, is this girl trying to help you? Just about
You know, I just noticed that she was like, I do think she was trying to help me a little bit, but not in that instance. Help me in the way that she is the one who introduced me to Alcoholics Anonymous. But not help me in the way that she literally abused me for 5 days straight. Because I did not want to go to some like gloom alleyway near Staples Center.
I think it's probably more complicated than that. You're probably leaving details out. And the other thing is that it's probably like, dude, yeah, like the fact that you're just playing victim, like, oh my god, she abused me, and it's like, what, dude? Like, that's your girlfriend. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? That's your woman. Like, oh, she abused me. Like, what?
Or are you gonna honestly say you've never been abused by a chick?
Abused? No.
She's taken advantage of your emotions, and you know she's used your emotions to like fuck you over. That's what I mean.
I mean, I'm not saying that a girl hasn't like manipulated me before. It's true, but that's my fault for not. That's my fault.
That's basically what I mean, right? Manipulation.
Okay. Then that's different. That's different. But that was my. I mean, when that happened to me, that was my fault. I mean, I didn't identify it. It was my fault for tolerating that type of behavior. You know, I wasn't getting abused. Like women will do that stuff. Like they will manipulate you if they can. They will, or they'll try to get what they want. Like maybe not good women, but some some women will. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know all the details, but in general, dude, if a woman is trying to get you away from drugs and alcohol, that means she cares about you, basically. I mean, because that's not a good path for a man. It's true. I mean, it's fucking true.
Yeah, you can do it sober, but that's like being a very wealthy person and, having a winery and, Francis Ford Coppola, you don't think he fucking tastes his own wine, smokes a joint? If you got your shit together and you can let loose a little, sometimes people need to get out of their programming or their environment, and people use conscious changing drugs to do that. And I know you're a young guy, but when you get a little older, if you're settled down, you can use cannabis primarily as an ego-killing substance to essentially dissolve your conditioning or your environmental response.
What do you mean? Wait, Adrian, what do you mean cannabis as an ego killing? So I understand ego is through the Freudian term.
Right. What I'm trying to say.
That
Well, it's not just cannabis. You have to mix it, in my opinion, with words. The dialectic combined with cannabis, alcohol, and coffee, it's like Adderall. It'll make you smart if you read books. If you just watch TikTok and smoke weed, your life is going to go into the shitter fast.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying that you can't, enjoy yourself once in a while as a reward for actually accomplishing things in life. Like, if you actually go out and do something, or you had a really productive week, you went above average, like in terms of working, you accomplish things. Yeah, celebrate, of course.
It's not just, what do you think Jews do? Friday nights on Shabbos, they open a bottle of wine, they read a book with positive neurolinguistic programming from Isaiah, from Ezekiel, from whatever. Huh?
Okay, so first of all, like, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy yourself. What I'm saying is if a woman is with you and you're not where you want to be, or she's not satisfied with you, most women will leave you and just be like, all right, you're a loser, I'm leaving, right? Well, they won't tell you that.
I get it, but this is a question of codependency.
Shut up, dude. Shut up. The other thing that they'll do is they will try to encourage you to stop doing the bad habits that they see and notice are holding you back. And that's what some women will do if they care about you.
Is this your first time on Clubhouse? I know it's not.
What?
What I'm trying to say is, you're correct, but the truth is, life is like a clubhouse room, meaning that if a stupid poopa is going to criticize you, but not actually give you any kind of wisdom, but just a complaint, that's not her trying to course correct you. That is called codependency.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're trying to say. I don't know what you're saying. You're not really talking about.
I'm countering what you're saying, that your analysis of Cardano's poopa is not necessarily accurate. No, I mean, you want to be a responsible person.
The problem is that you're not. The problem is that you're not doing what you need to do as a man. The problem is that you're not in any state of abundance to dictate to dictate, pound sand and stuff. Well, you're not. You don't have. You're most likely not in abundance.
I live in abundance, but
drugs, you don't have your shit together. You don't. You're most likely you don't have the pickings of the litter for women in your age group or age bracket.
It's probably true.
You probably don't. Yeah. So you can tell them to pound sand all you want, but the problem is that if you're a loser, well then you operate in a world of scarcity with women. So it's not easy for you to say pound sand. Right?
I'm not saying pound sand. I'm saying there's a lot of cool chicks out there that do yoga, work out, smoke a little weed, have a cocktail. We're not talking about cocaine and heroin. We're talking about smoking a little bit of cannabis and having a cocktail.
There's nothing wrong with that at all, what you said. There's nothing wrong with what you just said. Yeah.
I get it, but I don't know why we think that Cardano is out there doing heroin while his girlfriend is yelling at him. The guy fucking probably smoked a joint.
Sonny has self-admitted that he drinks too much and he does a lot of drugs, and I've even heard him admit that it holds him back. It's not a good thing for his life. So it's not like it's a big secret.
No, I know people have real problems.
I used to drink too much. My schedule used to be I would wake up, I would take 3 hits of my bong at 8 a.m. Then I would go to the liquor store, buy 5 tall boys. That would hold me until 11 a.m. Then I would go back to the liquor store.
You would do 5 tall boys in 3 hours?
Yes.
Good God, man. Fucking, have you heard? That's crazy. It's like you're a dehydrated camel or something.
Yeah, when I first started talking about it,
Adrian, after I would drink this always, I would just become a pissing machine.
Yeah.
I'd be pissing every fucking half an hour.
You know, what I've been doing is putting orange juice in my beer, and I gotta tell you, it makes beer the most delightful experience. It kind of turns it into a cider, and it doesn't seem as coarse, which kind of like scares me because it's like, man, I could drink Miller High Life and orange juice all day long.
This is the thing, right, Adrian? You know, I've drank for a long time. I've never been a fan of beer.
Alright, I didn't realize I was unmuted.
Do you guys like set do you guys like set like weekly goals in your life? Like, do you guys like set like, all right, this week I want to do this?
Yeah, we do it's called logarithmic thinking, or we essentially put together these things called to-do lists.
We used to listen.
I moved to the Midwest in 1 week, and once I moved to the Midwest, that's when I started my PhD program.
I mean,
I will
the reason why I ask is I kind of set it up.
Until next Saturday, when I moved to the Midwest.
This is the way that I'm set it up. I set weekly goals, and whenever I say productive, they're not like destructive goals. Like, you know, they're goals that are good for my long-term future. Basically, if I accomplish those weekly goals, and I don't always accomplish them, but if I do, which means going above like what I normally do. So like if I do, you know, if I'm, let's say like, I have to do X, Y, and Z to do like my normal thing, right?
But do you celebrate a price rise in Bitcoin?
No, I only celebrate when I confirm the profit. But either way, if I go above and beyond, and I reward myself, and I reward myself with, you know, depending on how big the goal is, or how big the accomplishment is, yeah, I'll go reward myself. But if I don't, then I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go celebrate for no reason. That's how I do it. That's how I set it up. I don't celebrate when there's nothing to celebrate. I don't celebrate when there's.
Well, you asked you asked Cardano if he was an atheist or believed in God. It sounds to me like you don't believe in God.
No, I do. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
Meaning that you should celebrate life, not just your accomplishments. This is a miracle that all this is even happening. So, I mean, for me...
That's not what I said. I said if you believe in God, you have free will. If you...
I'll get is right in that.
No, he's not.
No, let me explain. Christian theology, or
You said anything about Christianity?
Okay, let me take correct Christian.
No, I'm not. I'm not a Christian. Don't worry about it. But I believe in God.
He believes in the Norse god Odin.
Don't worry about what.
He believes in Odin. He's a neo-Nazi.
I believe in God, and I believe that God gives you the ability and the strength to make whatever decisions you want, to make difficult decisions, to make the not easy decisions. If I make those decisions correctly, I go and reward myself. If I don't, then I don't.
But how do you reward yourself?
I don't accomplish what I need to accomplish. That's how I set it up, and it works.
Great. And how do you reward yourself?
Whatever. Depends on how big it is, but typically it'll be drinking, it'll be some leisure time, it will be nights out with friends, it will be whatever.
I see. So kind of like living a normal life.
Sure, yeah, of course, yeah. But if I don't accomplish it, I'm not like, yeah, you know, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, I'm going out to drink no matter what. Like, no, I don't do it that way.
What Alchemist is saying is, he only allows himself to live the life he desires when he's a capitalistic goal.
No, that's literally not what I'm saying at all. That's literally not what I'm saying at all.
Let me finish. Alchemist is saying when he has succeeded, even though he's a religious person, and you're
Not a religious person.
And you said you believe in God.
I believe in God doesn't mean I'm a religious person.
Okay, so if you believe in God, then you must at least fundamentally believe our temporal realm is finite. But you know that non-temporal realm is infinite, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay, so you believe in that. So then, why are you not living your temporal life to the maximum of God? If you understand that this is, how are you?
Dude, that's just hedonism. That's not.
Exactly.
The question
That's
is,
what it is. What you're saying is hedonism. Like, why don't you just become completely hedonistic? And because the reason why I don't do that.
Brian, you can go right after him.
Okay, I'm done.
So if you believe in a God and you believe the godly heavenly world of the absolute supremacy.
I never said that. I don't know where you're getting that from.
Dude, that's like a religion.
You just said I believe in God. That's it. That's all I said. I said I believe there's a higher power that's bigger than us that does things that we don't
understand. Like my fucking alcoholics anonymous meeting right now.
Listen, the majority of Americans fit into this category, myself included, so I don't think it's
it's not crazy
to cringe at.
No, like
people
the
are going
majority.
to
This is what I'm
church.
saying. This is my point. The majority of people. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a weekly example. Right? I wake up early and I go to the gym. Okay. Sometimes I miss I miss one day of the gym because I'm tired. Maybe I lose sleep. Whatever. And let's say a goal of mine, one of my goals, I have 3 goals a week, and one of my goals is I'm not gonna skip a day at the gym. I'm not gonna miss a single day at the gym because, I told myself I was gonna go. I'm gonna go. If I go every single time at the gym, then I reward myself. I give a reward. I don't just go out Friday and Saturday night for no reason. I don't just do, that's just what I do no matter what I do. No. I have to earn, I earn that leisure time.
Oh, you're repeating yourself.
What? No, I'm not. I'm programming myself to be productive and then reward myself once I do something that's good for my long-term future.
Why does productivity in the temporal realm matter?
Because if you're productive, because if you're doing, I'll tell you why. First of all, if you're doing leisurely activities all the time, if you're just doing hedonistic activities, then it's the law of diminishing returns. The more you do it, the less enjoyable it actually is. So if you're smoking weed every single day and you're drinking every day, that's not really rewarding. It's not as fun as if you're just doing it once in a while, which is what it should be anyway. Second of all, are you gonna let me finish, or are you gonna let me finish, or?
Sorry,
Okay, so you're gonna interrupt me, okay?
I would not interrupt you if it were not for this. I'm sorry, Alchemist. As someone who has done marijuana and alcohol deals, the enjoyment daily is fucking great.
I would argue that when I do it, it's a lot more fun because I don't do it every day. And it feels a lot better to.
But some people are stoned 24/7, 7 days a week.
Yeah, and a lot of so anyway, that's not even the main point. The other point of delaying gratification is when you do things and you train yourself to be productive, and production is important because when you're productive, your life improves over the long term. See, that's the thing is most people don't think about it the long term. It's like a foundation. It's like when you do the foundational stuff, then you can, you're doing things that are good for your life over the long term.
Alchemist, we get it long term.
Right now.
But is there free beer tomorrow?
If you're more productive now, your life is better a year from now, 2 years from now, than if you're just not worrying about it.
To make my life better for years from now, let me know.
Well, I don't know your situation. I don't know your situation.
You're on high mode. Keep feedback when the person speaks with you. What you would do, Sonny, is just do what Alchemist is saying. And I think it's a great technique to have your weekly list. And on Saturday or Sunday, you have your little conference. Get the stuff on the list on. Yes or no? If the answer is yes, now Alchemist goes over and above, which is great. He gives himself a treat if he makes it through. Now, this may even work for me. I'm actually thinking about going down this road.
Wait, what is the purpose of the list?
Dude, if you don't have a list, then it's a major fucking
Do
problem.
you not have a journal?
Because
Let's say you
everybody
have,
knows, everybody
so
knows about the list. Everybody
I'll give you an example of how I set it up. I'll give you an example of how I set it up. So like, let's say,
The treat is where alchemist is inventing something. But
right. So what's like the normal?
It's critical, man.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the normal?
Since you're an academic, you're an insulator for something.
Yeah. I mean, this is like behavioral psychology, basically. I mean, it's not like this is like, you know, you're basically just hacking your brain to be more productive, and then your life improves over time because you're more productive than the average person. So like, I'll give you an example. So like, all right, the normal person, let's say.
Okay. So if you see the link, see if you can hit the link that I sent you. Voice message? No, you see the notes that I wrote you, there's a link. Can you hit that link? Okay, I see how. Okay, hit it. Okay.
Hit it!
My eye.
Experience representing injured workers and dealing with workers' compensation, employment, and labor law. But no, I've never worked in a hospital. I know a lot of people prefer a graveyard shift for a variety of reasons, but very infrequently, if never, is it because of an extra 50 cents an hour.
No, that's not the only reason. It's never that. That's
exactly.
You know,
That's what you said.
No, I didn't. I just said that that's one of the bonuses of where you can share.
Fair enough.
Why people want it.
I know a lot of people prefer to work.
Some people can't work it.
Isn't that $4 a week? A day?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Somebody got their hand up, mods downstairs.
I've been trying to bring them up. I can't bring them up. I've been trying to down there.
Kamala Harris is an agent of the Skull and Bonesman from Yale University. She is a subversive Trojan horse.
Yeah, so Daniel, and we'll try to about spending the money, right?
Jesus.
I was just wondering if there's advice you can give in like how to like overcome like narratives, especially false narratives. How to overcome those. If you have any, sure. Maybe it's a two people.
Well, yeah, let me say a couple things here. I'm just curious what you guys think. So, number one, is I think we're kind of commanded to use all of our mind and to be able to give a defense and to demolish arguments and, you know. That is so style.
Motherfucker, nigga, style!
Not her one, no. I was waiting for you.
We in the liquor store. I ain't got no money for no Hennessy, so I'm gonna get me some Miller High Life and some orange juice.
Sit down there.
Charlie Murphy, man. Charlie Murphy.
Motherfucker Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy.
Motherfucker Charlie Murphy.
That's K, really.
Oh, man. I've been called Dave Chappelle. I've been called everything in this world. Oh. And Charlie was way funnier than Eddie.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Charlie Murphy was definitely funny, but I can't say he was funnier than Eddie in his heyday. Like he's talking 8, 10, Eddie.
You didn't have the look. You didn't have the look.
sometimes it's good to know who you're dealing with. I mean, I'd rather have a person speak their vulgarity or their lie, and you know who they are, rather than hide under a rock and do it under the surface. You know, any person from their bedroom can reach around the world now with their views. You know, it used to be they just were local and affected their community, but the internet gives them a lot of power. But I'm old. I remember when neo-Nazis were allowed to march in a city and everyone was upset about it, but they were allowed to march, and the fact is the community rose up and there was more support for the Jews after they marched. So hopefully the pendulum swings and there's a balance.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I think you know, the more people that are aware of, I think I agree with the truth is, you know, the main factor. So yeah, that's.
I don't want to talk about just platitudes. I mean, obviously worldwide, the word anti-Semitism, the Jewish hate has grown. People see the Middle East and take sides. They see people die, and it's heart-wrenching. And so many people in our country don't always study history, but they react to what's happening now. So also educating people in history helps. And, you know, it's kind of been our lot that we have this persecution rising and falling that follows us this biblical time.
Yeah, the one thing I went because I'm from India originally, and, you know, like, the recent things that have happened lately, really, things are, you know, really suffering, and it's, you know, many people in, you know, America are not aware of, and these usually times when I bring it up, that, oh, you guys always are fighting, you know, it's always the two-sidedness, but they don't see the, you know,
I apologize for our lack. Not only do we lack knowledge of history, but also many times the rest of the world. We're very insular here. And you can ask people what's going on in Africa, what's going on. Aside from what they might see in the headlines, we are knowledgeable about specific areas, and we need more of that information. It's not even in our press.
The stuff in India's in our press, David, especially for you and I on the West Coast. You might have just missed it, but yeah, there's quite a lot going on in India right now.
Yeah, we were really trying to, you know, push the lawmakers, you know, representatives to take note of what's going on and help us. But it's, yeah, that's definitely there. And then, you know, there's always there's well, not always, but sometimes there's this other side where they're trying to peddle a narrative, like, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I don't want to get into it right now. Yeah.
Right. There's usually, it's very hard to find a neutral article, right? There's one side being advocated, and maybe that's one reason you have to have multiple sources. You go into sources of people that you don't agree with, just to understand and hear a different thought.
News to go on the graveyard shift. I didn't say everybody.
Most won't. Fine.
I said
Whatever.
most people.
But that's not the reality. The reality is most people don't have choice.
The reality, sir, is that most people do have the choice.
Well, then you
didn't have the choice. And actually, sir, I'm going to commend you. In fact, I'll give you a fucking standing ovation, and I'll tell you why.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No. Let me tell you why, sir. And then I'm going to close this room down in 15 minutes because I'm starting to blow it. Sir, I strongly suspect, sir, that you did have a choice. You could have gone on welfare. You could have applied for it, but you chose not to. Instead, sir, you chose to work your ass off because you didn't want to go.
Which we haven't heard, might I add, right? And I do think you should just play a snippet so that all of us can know that you actually have recordings.
Okay, you know what, Miss? I don't have a recording.
Ah! You liar!
Yes, I am from this room.
Stone him!
Stone him!
Okay, so basically somebody just coming back to you with info.
Yes, I don't have a recording.
Yes.
I don't have no
I don't
recording.
believe you just lying. Cause I don't know if you lying now or you lying then. I don't know if you lying now or you lying then.
Why did Eugene make good no crap? Let's talk about that. What happened there?
Who cares? Like nothing, nosy. What's that about? What happened with that?
What was that about?
Man, this shit is lame. Vote Trump and go to the gym, fatties. That's right. Vote Trump and go to the
Yeah. Around breaking. What?
Yeah. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Hold on. I'm texting Kitover because he can piss me off.
Kiddo.
Hey, I'm already knowing this. He wasn't saying nothing bad though, but I feel what you said. Like, that's your shit, that's her wrong.
Yeah, but those are big ones, and the key is, I just love songs like that. I'm trying to lay off the Beatles start, but sometimes I crave it, and I just go for a song. The other thing I heard is the Beatles with Robbie. I don't know if you know that.
Do you like a gulab jamun for dessert?
No, I'm telling you, the recipe is really good. That makes it so woman. I mean, it's got a lot of fiber, complex carbs, really good for your body. So, I don't think alchemists actually knows about all these things, right? Herbs, ashwagandha, trifla. These are like only Indian yogis actually know all these really good stuff. So, even mushrooms. Yes, the Adrian Guru.
Alchemist, do you do yoga? Have you tried yoga? Because when you do yoga and you do deep breathing and you're stretching, there's a moment where you stop thinking and you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I used to do, like, I went through a phase where, can you guys hear me? Yeah, I went through a phase where I did it. Yeah, I like it. It's just like, I don't have time right now in my life, but like later on I feel like I go back to it.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't stretch your hamstrings?
No, I stretch. No, I do stretch. I just don't do yoga or qigong anymore.
Oh, I see.
But, yeah. No, I'm not. I just like it. It makes me feel good. No, I'm not religious. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the whole ego thing, like the whole ego death thing is like, I don't know, man.
It's bullshit.
It's not bullshit, it's just like...
No, ego is bullshit. Ego death is bullshit. It's more about, it's hypnosis or basically alpha brainwave or like movie theater state.
Yeah, I mean, I think that having like an ego is not a bad thing. Like, it's not a bad thing to have an ego.
It doesn't exist though.
No, it definitely does exist.
It's a word. It doesn't exist in the real world. It's a concept.
No, like your ego is your sense of self. So.
No, that's personality or identity. Ego is just as tenuous or tentative as even personality or identity. People change minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. I mean, at the end of this conversation, you won't be the same person as you were when you started it.
Okay, fair enough. So I guess I'll give you an example. Like, I know people in real life that's like, you know, their whole thing is like, yeah, man, like, you know, ego death. Like, I went through ego death on this drug and stuff, and it's like, it's almost like their ego. It's like their ego is like, I don't have an ego. Like, oh yeah, like I went through ego death and stuff. It's like, well, that's your, like, you know, like your ego is big, man. Like, you gotta suppress your ego a little bit. It's like, that's your talking. Like, like basically what you're saying is your identity is like, yeah, man, like, I used to be like you, but then like.
No, that's not what ego death is.
Well, no, that's what
No, ego death.
they act like it's like an accomplishment for your ego.
I
to
get
die.
it,
It's
but
like,
philosophically, you have to have a definition. I can say it very easily by saying that you are technically God in drag. That's the outcome of an ego death.
okay. Well, all I'm saying is that there's people walking around that do drugs, and they're like, yeah, man, ego death and stuff, and it's like,
Yeah, there's retards out there.
ego too. It's just, yeah, your ego is just that you have no ego. Like that's your whole like thing. Like,
No, that would be my shtick or my hypnosis script, but that's not a very good script, man.
I know it isn't, but I'm just saying like that's how people kind of treat it. Like they're like they act like I don't know what I hopefully people understand what I'm trying to say here. I'm just talking like crazy.
Well, what I'm trying to say is in Zen Buddhism or Alan Watts, R.H. Blythe, D.T. Suzuki, all these, the Japanese extenuation of Buddhism and Hinduism is essentially just be here now. So when you go to the gym and you don't have your cell phone and you're not on this fucking hypnosis app and you're totally by yourself, I'm just saying that it's a miracle you're alive. So there are moments, what I'm trying to say is like what John Adams said after they won the revolution, you know, joyous forevermore. Like you should live your life in rapture. That's really how you should live your life. Like, I mean, that's essentially why it can be hard to control your desires or your consumption habits, is because people do live so rapturously, because this whole thing is one incredible, sonata.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just for me, it's like have a sense of self, have pride, do things that, better you and your bloodline, and, enjoy it, but don't enjoy it too much where it becomes everything. And,
yeah, but what is a bloodline?
Well, the bloodline is the extension of you.
So, no, but how do you compare that to the blood of Christ?
What do you mean?
Meaning that the metaphor of drinking wine on a Friday is consuming the literal blood of Christ, meaning that you should have the catharsis or the rectification of Christ cosmically. Because if Christ saved humanity, he fixed an error in the simulation.
Well, I don't subscribe to that, but
Well, I'm using Christ as.
That sounds like a pretty good excuse to drink wine.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, it's Legend of Drunken Master. Did you see the Jackie Chan movie?
It sounds like a pretty good excuse to drink wine. That's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound
Yeah,
like...
but bread and wine are very basic symbols, and that's why Christianity spread very quickly. Is because when you go to a country or a city that has no bread or wine, and you bring that and you profess it in the name of Christ, and you give people a sacrament every Sunday, they're now hypnotized and under your consumption control.
I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, but cool. But the bloodline, that's, essentially when you have kids, you're cloning yourself, basically. You're cloning yourself with another woman, and that's the extension of you once you die.
Are you a clone of your father?
Yeah, I am.
Really?
You're a clone of your father. Yeah, you're a clone of your father too.
I know.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's it.
I know. I do recognize how much I am like my father. I mean, it's incredible. But see, that's like personality transmission.
That doesn't mean everybody has to see it that way, but that's just how I see it.
No, I think a lot of men are probably not like their fathers, because they were abused by their fathers or abandoned by their fathers.
Well, there are good things and there are bad things about people, and one of them may be that they get abused by their father. That doesn't mean that there isn't. And even if that's true, then you should be like me. If that didn't happen to me, but if it did, I'd be like, I want to reverse that.
Yeah, but you didn't learn anger management.
anger management.
Meaning that if you are a victim of horrific abuse, and you haven't done a rectification or some type of what you could call a salve coagula or an alchemical formula to right your consciousness, you're going to abuse your children because you haven't regurgitated that wickedness out of your system.
Okay. Hey, listen, if that's the work you got to do what you got to do to make it better. Yeah. If that's what you got to do it.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done.
True.
Hey, children are clones because each individual sperm has different DNA.
I think he's generally speaking.
Yeah, I mean, like you are a product of your father and mother. The sperm and the egg come together, and then they form you. So you're essentially a clone of your father and your mother, for all intents and purposes.
But when he's, but Papa, aren't you saying that each genetic codex is like a snowflake, and so therefore it's not technically a clone?
Well, okay, okay. So are you trying to argue with me that you don't get the you don't get the DNA of your father?
No, the recombination is.
Your father and your mother, and probably the tendencies and the mental capacities of your father. Like, yeah, you do.
I know, but that's not a pure clone. That's not a one-to-one clone.
And you're talking about environmental influences.
No. Well, yeah, sure. I mean, okay, fine. But also genetically and biologically, you are a clone of your parents. You literally came out of your father's ball sack, and then you were formed in your mother's womb. So.
Thank you for describing to us.
Yeah, you're a clone of them.
That's not a one-to-one clone.
Okay. Well, you're just arguing to argue, but you understand my point.
Somewhat, but I don't think you really can admit that it's not a one-to-one clone.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Does the sperm have soul or?
Does the sperm have soul? That's a good question. I'm not smart enough to answer that question.
They say that the soul enters on the first breath, but I think that's metaphor too, meaning that in Latin, a conception.
I'm not smart enough to answer that question. I have no idea.
The word for breath in Hebrew is ruach, in Latin it's spiritus, and in Greek it's something else, but that's technically, the metaphor for the soul, meaning that the breath of life, or that, it really, even the logos, if you look at the Bible, it says that the word, the logos became flesh. So, but that's, in my opinion, the word alchemist or alchemy deals with what's called Hermetic mysticism, or, it's basically magic, it is basically ancient magic. And they call it physics science. I heard a new term for it recently. It's called physical sciences, meaning that your body, your brain, your hands, everything is a microcosm of the universe. So I guess what I'm saying is there's a way to hack the simulation through words. And I mean, if you want to be successful in business,
there's scientific practice that say life doesn't actually begin, but that life is passed on, so that's never really a beginning. So they claim, that the egg is alive, and the sperm is alive, the zygote's alive. So there's never really a start, but a continuation of life.
yeah, but that, you could say that all communication is hypnosis. So it's like saying, oh, I have an ego. Okay, well, show it to me. Well, I can't show it to you because it's a concept. And it's like saying water doesn't get you wet. But you definitely have a beginning and an end because you're here right now, and that implies that you were not here prior to your existence, meaning that you were once dead.
You replace life with you, so me personally, from my perspective, I have a beginning and an end. But the life that I am was passed on to me, just like what Alchemist is saying.
Well, that would imply infinity, eternity, or immortality. And that's technically, in my opinion, what the good news of the gospel is.
Are you like Eastern Orthodox or something?
I mean, I'm not in the Eastern Orthodox Church, but I understand why you would ask that, meaning that I think a lot of Greek Orthodox people practice what's called gnosis or Gnosticism, and that's basically unity with God.
Interesting. I would be referred to as a traditional Catholic. And I observe the condition of sede vacante.
I couldn't understand what was that?
Sede vacante means Latin. The chair of St. Peter is vacant. Ever since the Second Vatican Council, the Church has taught in contradiction with itself, its previous self, and separated itself. So I say I'm Catholic, but I observe sede vacante. It means that guy that calls himself the Pope isn't, and that the Second Vatican Council introduced a contradiction in Catholic theology that can only be explained that the Church is departing from its theology.
So what is it? Is it technically like a Byzantine empire?
No. I mean, Christ, you seem religious. Christ guaranteed that the Church wouldn't fail, so I don't know if you know who Archbishop Cook is. But yeah, there's a whole history, but the lines are still preserved. They're just underground now. They're not in those buildings that are claiming to be Catholic. They're in other locations.
I don't know. I just view the Catholic Church as technically being like a Merovingian empire, Byzantine empire, the remnants of Roman aristocracy, or something to that extent, where you merge the religion with the politics, and you become a super state, and it has persisted for 2,000 years, or 1,800 years. I mean,
Apostolic progression, right? The claim within this theology that calls itself Catholic to Christ is apostolic progression, right? Each priest has had hands laid on him that can be drawn back to an apostle. So that's what makes up this theology, and that line has been broken in the mainstream, but remained intact. There was two people historically in the entire history of the Church. Two people had the right to consecrate and ordain without papal mandate, right? To make bishops and priests without having to ask permission. One of them, the only one that was living at the time, Archbishop Cook, was in Vietnam. So, he had to be like underground and all, right? He'd get killed if he was making priests on the surface. So he had the unique ability to consecrate and ordain, so make priests and then consecrate bishops, right? Consecration. So the lines and apostolic progression remains intact. There's one, he had permission, right? So what he does is valid and illicit. Whereas like Archbishop Lefebvre, he said, oh my God, you're changing the Catholic Church, I gotta make some bishops real quick. Well, he didn't have the ability to make bishops without papal mandate, so his are valid, but they're illicit. So there's two lines that stem. It's Archbishop Cook's lines, which are valid and illicit, and Archbishop Lefebvre's lines, which are valid but illicit because he didn't have the papal mandate. Anyways, that's just that.
so do you view the American Revolution as being a religious war for religious freedom against King Charles and the Anglican Church or the English Church, meaning that the King and the Pope in England are one?
No. There would be a good book to refer you to called Americanism by Shalom Hertz. Talks about more of the political and the economic influences. Like, say, for example, the Boston Tea Party, right? Now, that? No. I said that cool on her. No, that doesn't sound like she's a funny writer. I mean, she's very accomplished. Yeah, Shola Hurts. I was reviewing her book, doing the. She had one where she talked about the Green Dragon Tablet, right? The Sons of Liberty, the ones that were the underground for the American Revolution. The Sons of Liberty met at a place called the Green Dragon Tablet, and the premise was that there was a cult connections with this group, the Sons of Liberty, and there was a plaque on the Green Dragon Tavern. So I was in Boston, and I went there, and there was like a, you know, when you like a picture from the wall, and it's like a fresh paint kind of picture, but the wall's kind of faded. So that was on the door, so I went in and I talked and said, hey, I'm looking for the plaque that's on the door, and the lady said, oh, that just got stolen last week, right? So, but she goes, but I got a photo album, so I sat there and breezed through their photo album. And sure enough, it was a snake in a figure 8 eating its own tail, you know, gold symbolism and such. But yeah, she mentions that. She mentions the Benjamin Franklin tied to alchemy, you know, the flying the kite, trying to turn lead into gold, you know, the key, all that crap. Yeah, so I mean, basically orchestrating or from Freemasonic ties. It's pretty obvious when you go to Washington D.C. I mean, just look at the cornerstone of any building, any official building. I mean, the Freemasons logo thing there, the compass and the book is everywhere. It's at every cornerstone. So, you know, and there's an overlay too. I was doing research for another book. The Pentacles, like the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, right? The Capitol building and such like that. They're laid out in Masonic fashion. It was kind of interesting because one arm of the compass would go all the way to Georgetown University, right? If you're standing at the Lincoln Memorial looking towards the Washington, the big pillar, the one arm of the compass going to the right was to Georgetown. The other arm of the compass was really interesting because it would go across the Potomac and it would like miss the Pentagon by a little ways. And so the Pentagon and the Iwo Memorial was right there too. And missed that one too. It went off into this view. I was like, that's kind of weird, you know, if you did equal distance to Georgetown to that, like the compass would be. So I was driving that road. And it goes by the Pentagon. And so you can't stop, you can't get out of your car. There's fences on both sides, right? But I was driving, and I pulled over, and I opened up the trunk, and I was in the back of the trunk, you know, the covers, you were looking around, and I see this scheme coming out of the bush, right? That's kind of weird. But so I'm looking at it, it's like this little concrete mushroom, and there's heat being dissipated right in the cold air above it, and then I'm keeping on it, right? I can see these things everywhere. So it's like, and then after 911, it was interesting, there was a story on TV when they were in the underground area, they abandoned the underground Pentagon. Oh yeah, the Pentagon got in, we can just move all our shit down here because we got all this space. Oh my God, that's the underneath the area that I was in. So I could just, yeah, the Masons had a hand in the American Revolution for sure. I mean, look at Albert Pike, right? The Scottish Rite, and he wrote the book Morals and Dogmas. He was down there in 33rd degree latitude. He was also 33rd degree, so yeah, his book Morals and Dogmas just perused to the 30th degree, right? The ninth Kadosh. And it's pretty clear. You don't want Freemasons getting a parking ticket. So I parked in front of the Freemasons local lodge. And, you know, I wanted to cook coffee, so I come out, there's a fucking parking ticket. But I didn't have to pay anything, it was a warning. It was like, hey, you shouldn't be parking here. Think better next time. They said something similar to that. about the Freemasons, not that they control anything, but they're symbols. They're like, hustlers for their party. Yeah, that in canon law, there's only one group that's specifically identified. I think it's like 28 something, 2883 or something like that. And it's the Masons. The Masons are in with it. Yeah, so, ipso facto. So ipso facto is 5 year facto. Ipso facto, you're excommunicated from the church. So if you join, the canon law states, and like I said, it's the only group. If you join the Masons, you immediately remove yourself. The law doesn't have to be applied. Canon law applies itself. Right? So when you say ipso facto, it means just by the mere fact that you did something means you receive this punishment by the law. I got a webpage with photos. This guy hired to, I was dating money at the time, to collect images of the Second Vatican Council and popes and such like that. It got prevalent. At the time, I didn't know, shit about fuck. So I was collecting all these pictures, and I'm looking at these pictures, I'm thinking, these guys, man, they don't know how to shake hands, right? Obviously, it's really important. You gotta know how to shake hands, right? Right? I'm handshaking this thing. You got all these like fairy handshakes, and picture after picture, pope after pope, right? I'm thinking, this is weird. And of course, so once I shook my dad's friend's hand, and I just put my left hand out there, and my dad's friend shook my hand very hard. So I confronted him in front of everyone the second after he did that. I was like, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you shake my hand that hard? And my dad kind of got pissed off at me after that. Yeah, I don't appreciate hard handshakes, but still, shaking hands, fucking, collapse my hand due to your muscles. He has a multiple thing, probably. Anyways, I gotta get, I'm driving to Vegas tomorrow morning early. Viva Las Vegas, right? Go enjoy your evening. Have a fun time. The other fucking Cardano. Okay, but I'm telling you. Another day being, wish you were straight, wish you were white, type of guy.
Hampton, how do you go around this app and constantly say you want to be a woman? I mean, what's wrong with you? Do you know how stupid that is?
This is why I support hormone replacement therapy for non-adults, so children. It's because hormone replacement therapy just wouldn't work that well on Hanson right now. But, Hanson should have done it at the age of like 12. Are you talking about Hampton? My name's not Hanson. Well, Hampton, sorry. What did I do? You said Hanson, you called me Hanson. Oh, shit. But yeah, Hampton, I do think Hampton, and, I support, gender liberation at all ages. And I do think, it would have been nice if Hanson could have Hampton, shit, dude, my bad. I'm drunk right now. If Hampton could have expressed his gender at a younger age. Because when you become older, you run into a lot of problems.
The thing is, I don't have gender dysphoria, and I don't want to be a trans person. I'm just saying, if I had to go back in time and like control if I was a man or a woman, I would be like, he would be a girl. I feel like I would be the alpha woman. It's just so much easier being a woman than being a man. I don't like women just get rewarded for being who they are.
See, Hampton, this is your neuroticism. This is your programming. I mean, you're programmed on these lies. This is not who you are. You're a man. You're not a woman. You're a man.
For being a woman just by being born. You know what I mean, Cardano?
No, bro, that's your fucked up perspective.
Wait, Adrian, I definitely get what you mean. I mean, I have a lot of trans friends. I know a lot of trans people. Yeah, they do say, once they fully transition, they do feel that, they're treated better than their birth gender, right? And so, I know this one chick, Casey, she looks fully, you cannot tell that her birth gender was male. And she said since she's transitioned, everyone has just treated her so much better. She actually said that to me, right? Yeah. And it's because, she's fully passing. If you saw her in a cafe or a bar, you would not be able to tell that she had male, she was male designated.
A real woman. And I think even the most, maybe men are so delusional they don't want to admit it, but people are nicer.
Maybe gay men are fully delusional. Did you ever think about that?
Is that what you say? People are nicer to women than they are to men. Is that a radical idea?
Dude, women are used in testimonials.
Am I crazy?
Yeah, let me explain to you what you
I'm
are.
crazy. So people aren't nicer to women on average than they are to men. I'm making that up.
What you are is you're a lazy man with low testosterone who doesn't want to make anything of himself. So you're just trying to take the easy way out by chopping your cock off.
You're going hurt. I don't want to be. I'm not going to do that.
That's literally. I'm just telling you, like I just listened to you for like 5 minutes and I broke you down. That's what it is.
I'm not going to change myself. I'm a man. I'm a gay man. It is what it is. I'm just saying, if I had to do a choice.
Yeah, but why do you come on this app and repeat this same fucking nonsense over and over again, day after fucking day? It's insane.
Cardano asked me about it.
Okay, so jealousy, or are you a top or a bottom?
I'm a top. But the thing is, everybody says that.
You simply just don't want to do the work to be a fucking man that a woman wants to be with, so you feel rejected. And so
I'm not sexually attracted to women. I'm not sexually attracted to women. It's an observation that I've just observed in my life. I don't know why that people get mad. Women get mad at me saying this, and men. Like, what is it?
Well, and maybe
It's because it's repulsive. It's low IQ. It's Schwartz. Because retards and stupid people talk like you.
Let me just say one thing. It's me and jealousy met. No homo here. If me and jealousy met, it would definitely be the bottom.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm out of here, guys. I gotta go lay down and work off this cookie skillet that I just ate. Oh, hey, the cookie skillet was huge. I ate too much. Toodles. Bye, girlfriend.
Bye, bitch. Anyway, so. Top trapped in the bottom spotty. But anyway, it's an observation. You don't think you can get mad?
Sweet, I'm a little confused. If you are a top, does that mean you put a dick in your booty hole and then you ride a dick in your booty hole when you're on the top? Is that what a top really is? I'm a little confused.
It doesn't bother me. You're just saying a lot of stupid crap that I think is funny, and I'm just gonna let you know because I don't think a lot of people have the balls to let you know this.
What is wrong that I
So you're not trapped. You're not trapped in a man's body.
I'm sorry to say this off this note. Gender liberation can happen at any age. I know people who have been
You're sexually retarded is what you are. Sorry, but you
That's the truth. You're sexually retarded.
Gender liberation at 1 year old, 2 years old, 3. Are you mental, bro?
It's just observation. Everything's easier as a woman. You don't have the pressure. You can perform. You don't have to perform.
Dude, you're saying that because you're not a fucking woman, you idiot.
You have to deal with periods, but literally, I was talking to my girl, like my friends that are girls, just get on fucking birth. This guy might be trolling. I'm not sure.
He's not. He's retarded.
I'm letting you know, if you get on birth control or put it like at the patch in or the patch in, you can control your periods.
Yeah, no shit. That's called birth control.
You might be sexually retarded, but you're not trapped anywhere. You like, the universe created you as a man. The man has a penis. The point of a penis is to reproduce with a female vagina.
I'm not gay anymore. I'm not gay anymore.
Hampton, you live in LA, right?
Correct. So
I live in LA also. All that stuff.
Yeah, so like, yeah, you guys should hang out and stuff. That's cool, but I'm just letting you know, Jealousy, that you can do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Go have sex with Sonny. I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, I'm just like,
what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just telling. I'm not telling.
Yeah, I mean, after you guys bust a load in each other's faces, do you think like you're gonna be in love or something? Like, is that what gay men do after they ejaculate? Do they like fall in love and be like, "I love you, darling. You're the dreams of my life. Like, you complete me." Is that how it works?
Dude, I don't give a shit if you're gay, bro. I really don't care. I have friends who are gay. It's cool, but like, they're also not like, they're not saying stupid shit like this. You know.
You hear this, Hampton? You got shit thrown right in your face tonight.
I know I'm a man. I have a penis. I'm not a woman. I'm a gay man. Yeah, you're walking around on Clubhouse like trying to get attention that you're gay. Like,
Exactly.
nobody gives a fuck that you're gay, dude.
Not only that, but gay is a concept. It's not. It's like ego. It doesn't exist in the real world.
Exactly. That's their ego. I'm gay. I'm trapped in a woman's body. Look at
Yeah, I guess if you want to say what an ego is, it's technically just being gay. Jealousy, do you believe in the concept of the ego, yes or no?
I'm not trying to bully you, man. I have no problem with you being gay.
Say you did. Say you did. Say you did. Say you did.
I'll tell you if Jealousy can be a hot trans chick or not. Jealousy, okay, you know, you haven't gone on HRT, so you're a little chubby right now. No offense.
This is too funny. This guy is like a trans obese person.
And if you've gotten to like, you know, a pretty good skinny level, I think you could become, you know, a pretty good trans.
Can you wear skinny jeans, Hampton?
I used to be really skinny. I'll be honest, I'm going to be so real with you. I'm short. I'm like 5'6.5".
Dude, like 90%.
It's like 5'4".
Short, right? Like 90% of trans chicks are like short.
Right.
It's something else.
90% of trans chicks are obese faggots.
I was like 128, but I had to really work to 128. Right now, I'm 180. So
okay, yeah, if Hampton got to 128 as a male, Hampton could be like.
But the thing is, you realize how hard that was? I did not eat what I wanted to eat, and it was.
Why don't you just work out and stop running your mouth and go to the gym and vote Trump, fatty?
I hate exercise. I don't like exercise.
Running your mouth doesn't burn as many calories as taking your ass on a treadmill.
So, you know, one thing I do support. Hampton, I made you a mod, but please don't mute Adrian.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
The only reason I didn't make Adrian a mod. Okay, you didn't mute him, but whoever did.
I didn't mute him.
The only reason I didn't make Adrian a mod is because, you know, I think he would boom the room.
He would.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I would just leave. I wouldn't boom your room. I didn't start this room.
But you know, this is the thing, right? This is fundamentally why. This is fundamentally why I support gender liberation at all ages.
What, at 3 months? 3 months?
Why do you call it liberation?
these vocabulary words that you Democrats try to use, like what you're doing, like let me explain what you're doing. You are chopping your penis off, and you are injecting synthetic hormones into your body that the universe did not put into you because that probably wasn't your purpose to do, but you're fighting against that and trying to play God. That's what you're doing. That's what's happening.
You're liberating yourself from nature. Yes, exactly, right?
That's not liberation. Like most of these people are miserable after they get surgery.
Nature has boundaries.
Dude, you're supposed to do it through a book, not by chopping your dick off.
Most people who get sex changes, like the suicide rates of these people are like insanely high. They're not. Like, it doesn't solve their problem. In fact, it probably makes their problem worse.
Yeah.
Like you're literally chopping your fucking penis off, dude.
Then you have the government and doctors. There was a news article that just came out where the police.
How much common sense do I have to inject into your brain in order for you to understand that that's probably not a good thing?
Let me say this. As someone in sociology and in the communist movement, I know many trans.
Oh God.
And you know, I know 5 trans females in my personal life who have suicided.
Jesus.
For their suicides.
You say it almost like you think it's funny though. What the fuck?
Dude, it doesn't matter. Dude, it doesn't matter. Like, dude, a woman who gets a sex change to a man.
All the reasons for their suicides was simply that they did not feel accepted by the society.
Bro, that is bullshit, man. That is such bullshit. They killed themselves because they were depressed and miserable.
They were miserable people. They were miserable before. Then they thought this sex change was going to be their saving grace and just solve all their fucking problems, and it didn't. And then they're like, oh wait, this didn't work, and then they're using that as an excuse.
You have to look at it in terms of depression, because I think everybody has a certain baseline of depression, and it's a question of how do you remove yourself from that depressive state. The big way to do it is through action. Go, do, be.
One big way not to do it is to chop your cock off.
Yeah, exactly. That's the opposite of what you want to do, and that's your problem.
It's probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. They keep their penis. A lot of trans women.
Listen, there is no such thing as trans people, and there's no such thing as gay.
Even if you keep your penis, you're still injecting synthetic hormones into your body at a massively unhealthy rate.
Jealousy is correct. The majority of trans women do not have bottom surgery.
Well, there's no such thing as trans women, and there's no such thing as bottom surgery.
Even if they don't, it doesn't matter.
It's called genital mutilation. It's not a surgery.
Wait, the thing is this.
That is what it is.
This show you how helpful the transition is.
Jealousy, can I just pay you $100 to go over there and suck this obese retard's dick?
So the thing is this. When you transition, when you keep your penis stops working. And everyone knows that. But people still
Maybe they've got diabetes and obesity.
Okay, then maybe they don't chop their penis off. But for all intents and purposes,
they don't get hard. It means that they consider that their transition healthy. That they are willing to give up usage of, the penis.
You mean they don't have orgasm anymore?
Retarded. No, they're just sexually retarded. And that's what's going to solve the problem. But it's not. It doesn't solve that problem. That you're not miserable because you're a man. You're miserable. You're not miserable. You're not a miserable, depressed, sexually retarded person because you are a man and the universe made you a man. You are a miserable, depressed, sexually retarded person because you probably have really bad habits and you've been programmed. You've been programmed by people like Sonny to get you to believe that this stuff, all this stuff is social constructs, when it's not. The universe made you a man. It has you with certain amounts of testosterone in your body and certain amount of hormones.